That's why you come to me. I give you the statistics without spin.
Out of 116 million, 55.5 million our time. That's 30%.
I give you the context with you.
No, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians, they know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
First hard fact of the day, 668 new COVID cases over the weekend nationwide, 249 in Lagos. Both numbers are up from last weekend, so that's 2 weekends in a row where the numbers have gone up. Let's not be too quick to congratulate ourselves about the third wave being over. We have to remain vigilant. We have to limit our movements. We have to keep wearing our masks when we go out. We have to keep our distance from people. And get vaccinated. We all have to do our part until all of us can get vaccinated. I'm particularly glad that Nigeria is receiving more and more vaccines. Ooh, don't forget to wash and sanitize your hands. That one is basic at least now. Second hard fact of the day, phase 2 of COVID vaccinations still ongoing. If you've not gotten your first jab yet, go to your nearest public health care center and get your shot. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay a dime for it. Just if you're in Lagos, register online, then get to the primary health care center and get your shot. If you're in other states in Nigeria, just walk up to any primary health care center and get your shot. If you've gotten your first dose, go and get your second dose. Some people message me on social media and they're like, Sandra, I got my first dose because you told me, but I had fever, my body was paining me. I'm afraid to get the second one though. And then I laugh and I tell them it's absolutely normal, But it also lets me know that not a lot of people get vaccinated as adults, because if you get vaccines as an adult, you would know that some of the symptoms that some people experience with the COVID vaccine is very common with every vaccine. Everyone. When I got my HPV vaccine, I had the symptoms. Same for when I got typhoid vaccine. Same for when I got, I think it was yellow fever. Like any vaccine you get, they knock you. Some people, they knock them. Some people know they knock them, right? So I just talk to them. I tell them, it's absolutely normal. I had the same symptoms. Just take paracetamol or Panadol and, eat a lot, drink a lot of water, sleep as much as possible, and you'll be fine by the next day. And they're like, oh yeah, well, you were right. I mean, I took paracetamol and I was fine the next day. And they've gotten their second shots, and that makes me very happy. It makes me happy that people actually listen to what I have to say, That's why I love Hard Facts, and I love that you've made this show the number one current affairs show in Lagos. I always say that 1 million Lagosians cannot be wrong. I have a great show for you today, starting with the big weekend. Let's talk about the Air Force denying a Wall Street Journal report that they paid a terror group in Katsina to return an anti-aircraft gun. Then, let's talk about the police denying reports of brutality and extortion in Ikorodu. And then, let's talk about the APC and PDP state congresses this weekend. Some went smoothly, others ended up with factional excos, and one of them ended in gunfire. Chukudi will bring you Checkpoint as always, because it's a Monday, and once it's 4 o'clock on every other Monday, we'll bring you Checkpoint or Madam Landlord. On today's Big Hard Fact, let's have a conversation about the future of the Naira. Last week, the Vice President suggested that the CBN was keeping the Naira at an artificial rate, and it sparked a lot of debate when he said that. So at 5 o'clock, let's talk about what options the CBN has as it tries to balance dwindling foreign reserves against the needs of the economy. We've got Steers Business and SBM Intelligence joining us at 5 o'clock. By the way, if you have a 13 to 17-year-old, if you're a parent listening to me or a lesson teacher listening to me, or a teacher listening to me, and you have promising students in your class, you are a principal listening to me, a proprietor or proprietress listening to me, we are organizing a debate for the next generation of Nigeria Info listeners for our I Beg to Differ tournament. The entries will close on Wednesday. Entries will close next tomorrow, Wednesday, 3 p.m. So if you have a 13 to 17-year-old, the 17-year-old must still be in secondary school, but the 13-year-old, of course, obviously still in secondary school. I know that they're very fast these days, but I'm hoping the 13-year-old is still in secondary school. 17-year-old should still be in secondary school. They haven't graduated yet. If you have, children within that age bracket, and these children are firebrands when it comes to debate. So you have a debate club in your school or debate group or whatever, and the kids who are in those groups are brilliant, and you think they have what it takes to debate their way to 1 million naira from Nigeria Info. Please go to our website right now, www.nigeriainfo.fm, www.nigeriainfo.fm. Go to our website right now. You see an I Beg to Differ tournament post. Click on it and have them choose one topic from the list that we've provided there. Debate that topic so they can argue for the topic and argue against the topic. So, for instance, is a light-skinned woman, so they will argue, I'm here to support that Sandra Ezekwesili is a light-skinned Igbo woman. I hate the statement that Sandra Ezekwesili is a light-skinned woman with the full points of mind. She doesn't qualify because she qualifies as light-skinned because she's this and she's that. So they will argue both sides and then upload it on the website and then submit it with their name, their class, their age, their school, and the number that we can reach them on, as well as an email address that we can reach them on. And we'll listen to the submissions we have, we'll pick the best ones, and we'll kick off the tournament right here on Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. So go right now to www.nigeriainfo.fm. You have until next tomorrow, Wednesday, 3 p.m. to submit your audition and let the best child win. As usual, we'll bring you the latest updates every hour on the hour, but let's get right into today's big weekend. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, by the way, and these are your Hard Facts.
The big weekend.
Has the Air Force debunked the Wall Street Journal story? Has the Air Force debunked the Wall Street Journal story? Has the government taken the promised steps for police reform? Are party congresses more peaceful than human rights marches? It was a big weekend, Lagos. Let's get into the stories, shall we? The Air Force says it has never paid, it says it never, not has never, it never paid terrorists to get back an anti-aircraft weapon. That's our first story. It all started with a story in yesterday's Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal claimed that a terror group in Katsina had seized the gun from the military. That story also claimed that because the president was planning a trip to Daura, his home, the military was worried about the gun being used against planes. And so the Air Force allegedly agreed to buy it back from the terrorists with 20 million naira. It's alleged that an Air Force intelligence officer made the handoff to the armed group in Rugu Forest and got back the weapon. But now the Air Force has called the story a lie. We heard from their spokesperson, Air Commodore Edward Gabwet, and he said, quote, "The NAF wishes to categorically state that there is absolutely no iota of truth in the spurious allegation that was undoubtedly designed to cast aspersions on the good image of the service. The said report is totally false. It should therefore be taken as fake news and disregarded." End quote. Right now, the civic space is buzzing with debate and commentary on all of this, making it probably the biggest story from this weekend. Now, the Wall Street Journal has not named their source, and a lot of Nigerians are asking them to provide some more tangible evidence for the assertions in their story, because he who asserts must prove, after all. But what do you think about this story in the meantime? What do you think about the Air Force's response to the Wall Street Journal's story? Women call me on 01465 7190. 01465 7190. Men call me on 0700 993 993 993. 0700 993 993 993. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. Everybody has 1 minute to make their points so that we can take as many calls as possible. 1 minute, that's all you get. Benjamin in Ikeja, hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. You've got 60 seconds.
It's nice speaking with you this afternoon. That's a very interesting topic. And my contribution is that, you see, our security, they have failed us. And the state we are now, there is nothing in Nigerian police, in Nigerian army, and in Nigerian Air Force, even the military as a whole, will tell Nigerians that will believe what they are. Because the country as it is now, the security apparatus, everything has failed. So, the denials by the Air Force, I will say, to my own opinion, is a false statement. It is what they did, and that is why the news carried it. And now they want to tell Nigerians that it wasn't them. It was. That is what they've been doing, and this is what they've been bribing bandits, all the forests, to do all this looting and all that. And this is where politicians makes money. So, if you ask me, it is clean clear. It is what they've been doing, so it never changed. Thank you.
Okay, Benjamin. Benjamin doesn't believe the Air Force. Ray is a first-time caller in Lagos Island. Hi, Ray.
Hello.
Hello, Ray. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, as regards to your story on Air Force and the gun or whatever they bought, they said Wall Street Journal said they bought back from the bandits.
Yes. They bought back an anti-aircraft weapon.
Anti-aircraft, yes. They call it yes. I don't even know who to believe, the way things are going now.
Okay.
But I want to ask a very simple question.
Okay.
If I make a false report about somebody, let me not use you.
Okay.
I think even after trying to prove that whatever report is false, I think I can sue the person.
Okay.
I would like Nigerian Air Force or the Nigerian government to take it off. Very big for that.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Let's not just end up at we are debunking it, we should discard it, force on piece of hell and all this kind of languages and statements. They should go a bit further to prove to Nigerians, because take it or leave it. A lot of people may not believe Nigerian Air Force, but it's not as if they are happy that Wall Street Journal put up that story. Sorry. You understand? So Nigerian military, they need to go extra mile to make people to believe in them.
Okay.
Last year, from the beginning of whatever that transpired, you remember, never admitted that they were there. You understand? So after some time, they now said, okay, we were there. But look at what happened and look at what did not happen. So these are the things that make people find it difficult to believe certain things when the story just breaks. But I want to believe it's not true.
Okay.
That's my position. Thank you very much.
Ray, thank you very much for calling. Kenna is in Ogun State. Kenna, you've got 60 seconds. Hello, Kenna.
Thank you. I want to speak on the what the Air Force said. They are telling lies.
Okay.
Because this is a serious allegation. If it is not a serious allegation, they should take those people that expose this into court.
Okay.
I remember last week they told us that 13,000 terrorists surrendered. Where did they keep these surrendered terrorists? Can they just surrender and they leave them like that?
Okay.
You know, they are telling us lies every day. We are not children.
All right. All right.
Yeah, in fact, we are not fools. They are fools, not us. Because how can you say something that 13,000, not 130 persons, but 13,000 surrendered? Where are they? Where did they keep them? So this government has been telling us lies from the inception of them, from the inception that lies.
Can I? Thank you very much. We've got two people who don't believe some person who says, well, the Air Force may be trying to use the instance to allegedly agreed back on the term with 20 million naira. The Wall Street data is very heavy as well. Peter, thank you so
Madam
much.
Sandra, good afternoon. A big fan of the present government, or any government for that matter, but I think it's not correct.
Okay.
Why depending on the type of war that's fighting aircraft to fight it. The bandits are never known to be in the air. So why would the army or the air force have and stand press if they say they mention people that nobody is involved mentioned? I think it's just the case.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Our final call is Kayode Nikoyi. Then we'll bring you our story from right here in Lagos, right here in Ikorodu. Kayode, how are you?
Yeah, Sandra.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, Sandra. I think everybody is asking for the table. Number one, I actually believe that it happened.
Okay.
But what is there is this. Even if such things can happen anywhere, I'm not a fan of this government, but even that kind of thing can happen in the US. And if it happens, paying off to collect it would not be. It would also be an option if that is how to secure the president. So the only thing is that there's so much lie that has come out from this, almost impossible to say. But truly, are we expecting the military to come out and say yes, they actually bribed? They're also not going to say that even if they did. So that's why I said everybody is like asking for the impossible.
Kayode, thank you very much for calling. The police say they're cracking down on gangs in Ikorodu, but some citizens say that it's turned into an extortion racket. There's been a lot of reported gang activity in the Ikorodu area recently, and the police say that they've stepped in to get the situation under control. But according to a report from NAN, residents are accusing the police of going too far. They claim that police are conducting random arrests of young men in the area and allegedly extorting them money before releasing them, even when they're innocent. The report claims that several students of Lagos State Polytechnic Ikorodu were held and extorted, but the police are denying any wrongdoing. They're saying that yes, they arrested some LSP students in Ikorodu, but they insist that they charged all those with gang ties and released the rest, quote, without paying a dime. Now, so the police talk up. Now, of course, so police brutality and extortion are on a lot of people's minds and in the national conversation. So when you hear a story like this Ikorodu situation, it raises some obvious questions, right, about how much police reform has actually taken place since NSARS. And this is not the only police brutality story from the weekend. Over in Ogun State, a policeman was arrested for shooting a motorist in the leg at a checkpoint. By the way, didn't the police command ban checkpoints? But yeah, they stopped this guy at a checkpoint and were searching his car. And according to eyewitnesses, the man was cooperating fully with them. And for no reason at all, one of them just cocked his gun and shot him. We're also hearing about a case from last weekend in Eket, Akwa Ibom State. Police allegedly raided a burial ceremony in a compound. As people started running, the police allegedly started shooting and killed one young man. Then over in Kogi State, we have this viral video that allegedly showed 4 policemen extorting 25,000 naira from one man and beating up another. Now, the police command in Kogi says that they've started orderly room trial for 3 of the 4 officers. So as you can see, lots of police incidents across the country in just the last 7 days. At the same time, on some of these cases, you also have the high command appearing to take action against the officers. So I want you to tell me if you think that street level policing has gotten more respectful of human rights 1 year after NSARS? And secondly, what's your view of how the top brass react to these cases? Because let me remind you of the 5 conditions that the government said they agreed to last year, right? So number 1, immediate release of all protesters, justice for all deceased victims of police brutality, and appropriate compensation for their families, setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reports of police misconduct within 10 days, psychological evaluation of all disbanded SARS officers before they can be redeployed, and then increase police salaries so that they are adequately compensated for protecting lives and property of citizens. It was based on this that the government said the protests should stop last year because they've met or they were meeting the 5 demands. Now it's up to you to assess those demands and tell me 1 year later if the government and the police force have met them. Has policing improved 1 year later? 993. Women call me on 014657190. Are you in Ikorodu? Did you experience some of the arrests that happened in Ikorodu over the weekend? What happened there? Do you have an eyewitness account? We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take your thoughts.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt or an extra hand to change a flat tire.
Between 13 and 17 years old? Do you live in Lagos? Are your debate skills awesome? Then go over to www.nigeriainfo.fm and register for the I Beg to Differ tournament. Entries close on the 20th of October, 2021.
World Diabetes Day is just around the corner again. Diabetes is a major cause of blindness, kidney failure, heart attack, stroke, and lower limb amputation.
In order to stem the sharp rise of this illness in Nigeria, the Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation is carrying out a campaign of awareness, prevention, and management. 10 million Nigerians will be screened for diabetes and commence on diabetes management.
This year, ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo, who has been a healthy diabetes patient for more than 40 years, will lead activities to mark the World Diabetes Day. On November 14th, there will be a football match, flag off of free medical screening for diabetes and other chronic diseases for 10 million Nigerians at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library Complex in Abeokuta, and a dinner to be hosted by His Excellency, former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun.
Come and see Baba himself feature in a charity football match between OBJ All-Stars versus Nigerian ex-internationals led by Segun Otegbami, JJ Okocha, and many more at the MKO Abiola Stadium, Abeokuta.
For sponsorship considerations, kindly contact Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation on 0906-814-7970.
Media partners, Nigeria Info.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt or an extra hand to change a flat tire or a small loan. At Kuda Microfinance Bank, we believe that your bank should do more than just store your money. We want to do more for you. So when you use your Kuda account to pay bills, buy airtime, and make transfers regularly, we'll offer you an overdraft, which is a low-interest loan that you can take anytime you need it. No long talk, no collateral, no paperwork involved. Just download Kuda on the Play Store or the App Store, open a Kuda account, and use it regularly to qualify for Kuda Overdraft. Kuda, free banking for you.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Everybody gets 60 seconds to make their point so that we get as many thoughts as possible on the show. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info 99.3. We start Mondays by bringing you the biggest stories that broke over the weekend. Let's talk to Paul in Maryland. Hi, Paul. Good afternoon. Hello, Paul. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. You've got 60
Sandra.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Regarding what you just asked, actually, I don't think the Nigerian nation or the police force learned anything.
Okay.
And I don't think they are ready for any change. Nothing changed. Nothing happened.
Okay.
We have a situation whereby the Nigerian police, in actual sense, they are not loyal to the Nigerian state or the Nigerian nation. We have a situation whereby to get to the Nigerian police force, you need maybe a godfather who has 5 slots, 10 slots, and then they give you, then you go in there. Who are you loyal to? You are loyal to that person. When they commit a crime, what happens? They can just transfer you from here to Akwa Ibom, and your case is in Lagos, and that is the end of it. So the police will not change. Nothing has changed. After what happened last year, no reform, nothing. In fact, they are coming out gradually.
Thank you for calling us, Paul. Adeola is in our warrior. Yeah, Adeola is a first-time caller. Hi, Adeola.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. You've got 60 seconds. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to contribute to the my thoughts on the police reform.
Right.
There have not been anything like police reform in this country.
Okay.
Now, if we want a police reform, there should be an external body that will police the police, like a body that will oversee the police activities, a special unit. And when the police are going on official duty, they should put on a body cam. I don't know why a police officer that is serving the public will be afraid of camera when they are doing something. Somebody wants to camera them, they will be scared of being camera with phones and things like that. For God's sake, you are serving the public, and why are you scared of camera? And they should wear a body cam when they are on official duty. That's my thought on that, if we really want transparency in police.
Adeola, thank you so much for calling to share your thoughts. Abigail is a first-time caller in Lekki. Abigail, hi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You've got 60 seconds, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Richard, the guy that just finished talking now.
Okay.
The Nigeria police has not really changed. There's no change. Like last week, I have a friend's brother schooling in the East.
Okay.
He called his brother and was explaining to him that the police arrested him for no crime, took him to the ATM, collected all he had in his account, and a student for that matter.
Wow.
So the Nigeria police have never been changed throughout since last year. I think they're even getting worse this time around.
Abigail, thank you very much for calling us. We'll take a few more thoughts and then go to WhatsApp where we have lots of comments. We're streaming live on Facebook, by the way. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. We're streaming on YouTube as well, Nigeria Info FM. Tayo is on the line. Hi, Tayo. Good to have you on the show. Hi, Tayo.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Am I through to Sandra?
Yes, you are. You've got 60 seconds.
Yeah, this is Tayo calling from Ogba.
Welcome, sir. You've got 60 seconds.
I live and I work in America for 4 years.
Okay.
More than that. I'm still living there.
Okay.
Any news in America, if New York Times doesn't carry it, then they know it is fake.
Okay.
Once New York Times carries the only way you verify or authenticate any news in America, you wait and check New York Times.
Okay.
The guy that called that, why would they have Antichrist? I remember the federal government declared no-fly zones around that area in the north, somewhere there, because they said there were some people were using helicopter or whatever, supplying the bandits or whatever. Would that not be the reason the military went there with this aircraft or something?
Okay.
Please give me a break. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling and seeing all of that in less than 1 minute. Yeah, one day is a first-time caller in Ikeja. Hi, one day.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You've
So
got 60
yeah,
seconds.
first of all, I'm a lawyer, so
Okay.
I'm going to give some perspectives about the police have always been a nightmare. Not just to people who don't know their rights, but to people who even know their rights as well.
Okay.
I feel that, just like everybody has said, police have not really learned anything. But reforming the police is not something that will happen overnight.
Okay.
Because definitely a lot of things have already happened. So much have already happened, and we already know.
Oh, Yewande, you seem to be driving through bad spots of network, and so it's affecting the clarity of the phone call. Perhaps give us a call back. My final call is Alex, and then we'll go to WhatsApp. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Mrs. Sandra.
Good to have you on the show. Good afternoon.
Nice to get rich to you again.
The pleasure is mine.
I just
You've
want
got
to
60 seconds.
comment concerning the first topic you brought
All right.
about the
aircraft.
The aircraft.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be. In fact, it's funny to me. Why is it funny to me? Even if someone's car got lost, there's a tracker for you to track the car and recover your car. But I'm just trying to imagine our entire aircraft. This is not something you can park in front of your house, or even if this is not something you can park inside your compound. The whole aircraft got missing, and they could not find it up to today. So now the next topic now is they said you have paid to recover this aircraft. Is it true or not true? If you have not paid, have you recovered the aircraft? So it's just a question from me. Have they recovered the aircraft, please, Mrs. Sandra?
Well, I'm not a spokeswoman for for the Nigerian Air Force or the Nigerian military or the Nigerian security service.
All right, so these other
So I can answer
media
that
outfits
question.
that are alleged that they have paid money to recover the God, funny things are just happening in this country.
But you see,
All this
you
happened-
see,
all this happened because-
these
all right.
things, these machines are actually small. The biggest anti-aircraft guns are like a small vehicle, and the smallest are handheld, like Stinger missile launcher. So it's actually, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to misplace. But Alex, remember, everybody gets 60 seconds. Thank you very much for calling us. Let's take a look at the messages we have on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Chidozie says the local media has been so stifled by regulators when it comes to reporting security issues. Unfortunately for them, they cannot guard the Wall Street Journal. Good luck to them. Like the saying goes, there's no smoke without fire. Chidozie, thank you for your message. We've got Femi. Femi says, I would rather say that we shouldn't swallow everything in international media, hook, line, and sinker. One, what will the military be doing with an anti-aircraft gun in the forest? To shoot which plane? Being flown by who? To the terrorists. Number two, commercial and private planes fly at an altitude of over 35,000 meters above sea level. An anti-aircraft gun, I mean gun, not missile, can only fire less than 10,000. That's even at max. The aircraft being downed by anti-aircraft guns are the ones that drop low, helicopters, fighter planes, etc. Let them prove with evidence, not just keep making false statements. Not every Nigerian is gullible. All right, Femi. Thank you very much for your message. We've got more people who are sending us messages here. The senior officers of the police are the ones that tell the junior ones to go and get weekend money. That makes the junior ones to arrest whoever they see. Augustine is Nigando. He sent that message to us via WhatsApp. President Sandra, the Nigerian police is the most corrupt institution we have in Nigeria. That's a message from Kazim Ogumeru. Kazim Ogumeru, thank you for your message. Good day, Sandra. SARS is not dissolved. We are fooled by our leaders. 7th of September, I was returning from my grandma's burial along Benin bypass, we were stopped by small men claiming to be police officers, 3 male and a female, one of them dressed like a hoodlum. They asked for our phones, we gave them. They packed us, 4 boys, into their car. They stopped the next private car, a white Lexus, and they started to search his car. He brought out his phone to record them, but they released a bullet in front of him. Out of fear, his phone fell off. We were driven round Benin. They even asked us to confess that we were fraudsters. I told them my brother and I were sons of police officers. They didn't even listen to us. They later dropped us at an unknown site and told us to wait till they drive off before we can make a call. Goodness, that must have been scary for you. I'm sorry about that experience you had. In Ikorodu here, the police thinks that every young man is a Yahoo boy. They embarrass people anyhow, especially at the garage. They'll just stop you and tell you to get into the bus, not knowing what's going on. Nigerian police cannot change. That's a message from Moses. Moses, thank you very much. Shegu Akerele in VI says, it's unfortunate the way we use our mouth to bring down our nation. The news is fake. I believe the Air Force. Please, let's all support our armed force to end the banditries. If terrorists have such a weapon, they will never release it. Okay. Thank you for your message. Madam Sandra, this Ikorodu matter, yes, police are doing right because the killing between the cultists will rest. Okay, that's a message from Yaya Ture. Yaya Ture is in Ikorodu. Peter Yorinde says, Madam Ezekwesili, it's always my best part of the day to send my thoughts to you via this medium. I hope you had a fruitful weekend. On the Air Force matter, until the Nigeria Air Force used the Wall Street Journal on the report, I will only believe the foreign papers. Don't forget our government has been doing everything to gag our own media, saying a zipped mouth is a sign of cooperation and support of the government. The Joe Biden administration has a folder of files of terrorists taking over our military weapons, and they failed to sell us weapons during Jonathan administration. Don't also forget, with amnesia, that a set of bandits brought down a military plane sometime this year. All right, Peter Yorinde, thank you for your message. That's where we'll wrap up messages on the first 2 stories while I bring you our final one. The APC and the PDP both held congresses across the country to elect or appoint their new state ESCOs. And in many states, we saw factional ESCOs emerge. So let's start with the APC, right? Because they're the majority political party in the country. In so many states, you had 2 different factions holding separate congresses. 3 factions serve in some cases. So, in Ogun and Osun and Niger, the state governors all had their own factional congresses, while their opponents in the party held a separate congress. In Akwa Ibom and Kwara, it was federal ministers that were facing opposition. So, Lai Mohammed in Kwara, Godswill Akpabio in Akwa Ibom. Even in Enugu and Abia, the APC couldn't agree. Over on the PDP side, the Wahala was here in the southwest. In Oyo, there were 2 factions, Governor Makinde's group and Mulikat Adeola Kande's group. He's a former Reps majority leader, and he's kind of become the leader of the anti-Makinde faction of the PDP. So 2 factions in Oyo. Meanwhile, in Lagos, both parties had Wahala. On the APC side, we had the Lagos for Lagos faction showing up again. Because remember that they previously held ward and local government congresses and got some recognition from Abuja. You remember? So I wonder if Abuja will give them a nod again. Then on the PDP side in Lagos, they had 1 congress, but it was interrupted by gunfire. Right now, the party is calling the result inconclusive. Now, I want to stay on this PDP Congress for a moment, right? Gunfire and violence. That's something that is pretty common during these party congresses, right? It's not the first time that we've seen it happen at a PDP or APC or APGA event. But notice something. Notice that these events are still allowed to take place. The police hasn't said that because congresses have been violent in the past, nobody should hold congresses again to avoid more violence. I'm pointing this out because before today, there were plans for an NSAS memorial walk, right, on Wednesday. But today now, the police have, the procession can go ahead. They've said they will allow the procession if they are informed of the time it will start and where it will happen so that they can control traffic, etc., etc. But see that with these political congresses, you never have the police coming out to say, oh, no, don't hold these things because we're afraid of gunfire and violence, even though you're very likely to have gunfire and violence at these things. And we talked about this thing last week. We talked about, why it seems to be just a particular kind of protests that, sees opposition from the Nigerian police. Last week, we talked about, the violence that happened last year. Some of you supported the position of the police. So my question today is, should the police apply the same logic to party congresses? Party congresses have had way more incidents of violence and even deaths than the human rights protests all across the country. Unless, of course, you concede that dozens of people, were... You know what? Let's not even go there. But why aren't there restrictions on political rallies in the way there are on human rights protests? Are human rights marches more dangerous than party congresses? Should the police have announced a ban on congresses the same way that they did initially with processions for NSAS and then changed their mind? 01465 7190 0700 993 993 993 01465 7190 for women. For men, 0700 993 993. That's how the weekend went. What story do you want to talk about? We've told you about the Air Force denying a Wall Street Journal report that they paid a terror group in Katsina to return an anti-aircraft gun. Then we've told you about the police denying reports of brutality and extortion in Ikorodu. We also took you around the country with incidents of police brutality and extortion. And then we took a look at some of the promises that were made last year. And my question was, have things changed 1 year later? And then we talked about APC and PDP state congresses that happened this weekend. Some went well, others ended up with factional escos. One of them ended in gunfire. We've got Alex and Ikeja on the line. Alex, how are you?
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome.
Yes, I'd like to comment on this thing, on the last story.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, many times we say that our institutions are weak, we should strengthen we should build strong institutions and all that. But does it ever cross your mind what happened to the power that was originally given to these institutions by law? Last week, something happened in Lebanon, and I'd like us to keep a close eye on it. We have a situation right now in Lebanon where the power of the state seems to have bowed down to the power of a few strong individuals. These people have become so strong that the state cannot even challenge them anymore. We have a judge who is trying to do his job, but at the same time, there are people who come into the fray with guns, heavy machinery that even the state can right now not even afford. And we are slowly grinding to that kind of situation where the state has totally bowed down to the power of a few individuals. I'm talking of both parties because to me, there is only one big political party in Nigeria, and that is the combination of APC and PDP. We are slowly grinding to a stage where the state will no longer be able to challenge. You're asking a question now that how come the police doesn't do this? How come the police? Look, we will get to a point at this rate. We will get to a point where the police will be completely subservient, even the army, to these people's influence. And then you tell me what we have left for a country.
Alex, thanks for calling. James in Lagos Island is a first-time caller. Hi, James.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, this is my first-time caller.
I'm glad you're here, sir. What do you want to talk about?
Yes, I want to talk about the police they are talking about.
You've got
And
60 seconds.
Ikorodu issue.
Okay.
I don't know what is only happened to this country. If police no do their work, they will complain. If they work, they will complain. After the exercise, people say that because when police is not around, people are saying that yes, many things are going on. No police on the road. Look at all other things that is happened. But now police come to the road, the same way people are complaining. And in Korodu there, if you go there, you will see many things happen. So I don't know what is going on with Nigeria. That is what I can say. Because we complain a lot. That is my own contribution.
James, thank you very much for calling to contribute. Ruben is in Ikpaja. Hello, Ruben.
Yeah. Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You've got 60 seconds, sir.
Yeah. Let me start from anti-aircraft gun.
Okay.
You know, this government have a record of denying information, and at the end, they turn out to be true, or they accept it. So, in every reasonable sense, I want to believe that this information is true, and just for a record, at the end, the government will end up accepting it when the evidence becomes so clear for them. So that is APC for you. Now, for the party politics, PDP and the APC, you know, here in Nigeria, we are just in a hook for these two criminal parties. And I have been praying that the third force or the other people who are entering into our alliance, I've seen some faces that I really adore, and I want to see them in the national politics. That it will be a miracle that these people come into it there. And we will shut the doors for the political prostitutes so that they shouldn't come there again. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you very much. Shala is in Ikeja. Hi, Shala.
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'd like to respond to your question as to why the police hasn't stopped political rallies. Part of the continuous violence that we see at those rallies. The politicians fund the police. They are the ones that pay them. They dictate the tune for the police. Political power is very, very important. And that's why I want to tie it into the fact that people should go and register to vote. There's this much you can do with that political power. You can agitate, you can protest, you can go, but without the power, you cannot effect a change.
Right.
So if we want to see a change in our country, we must go back to the basics. Handling political power, being involved in political process in Nigeria is very, very important.
Right.
Otherwise, the police will act against us and side the politicians all the time because they pay them. We can't do anything about it. They will determine what you can do, what you cannot do. So I want to appeal to Nigerians. Don't give up on your rights. Go out, register, and be ready to vote. And take a step further, get involved in political parties and be a part of the system.
Right.
Then we can make a change. Otherwise, we just complain, pray to God and not take action. Faith that works is dead. So we need to get involved in politics and political process in Nigeria. Maybe to effect the change we want to see. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shala, for calling. And yes, Shala, hit the nail on the head there. It's important to register to vote. It's more important to get involved in the political process. That's why I quite like what the Senate has done with the Electoral Act, where they've said now that direct primaries are favored over indirect primaries. What that means is that every single person who belongs to the political party can determine who they want the flag bearers for different political offices should be. Now imagine that a lot more Nigerians than actual political players or politicians join these political parties. It means that the power is in your hands to pick who the flag bearers for political positions can be, which means that you can decide to kick out the people that you don't want to hold political office, which means that you can clear the path for those that you want to hold political office in the country. Now, of course, the major political parties have closed their doors as far as the fresh registrations into political parties are concerned. But there's always 2027, is it? 2027. So 4 years, right? 4 years. Is it 27 or 26? My math is terrible. I'll have to count it out on my hand. But yeah, so there's always then, to plan for. Organize amongst yourself, join these political parties in your numbers, and determine who the flag bearers will be. Because by the time you get to the polling booth, by the time you're facing that paper and you're deciding whether to press your thumb on this one or the other one, it's already too late. You're already being made to choose between the devil and the deep blue sea. So how about you get involved in the process very early and make sure that the candidate you would prefer becomes the one who ends up on the ballot paper on election day. We've got messages on WhatsApp. Dele says, Party Congress is held in an enclosed environment while protests is held on the street. Well, rallies are also held on the streets and they get violent. Onyekachi from Iba says, are you going to stay in this country till 2023 with what is happening in this country? So the NAF know where the bandits are, but they can't go there to fight them. Rather, they paid them. Well, the NAF is denying that. So you can't exactly say that they do now, do you? Can you? We've got Damien from Shogunle who says, the present government have silenced the Nigerian media. Those that still have freedom of speech and freedom of information are giving us the news. The Air Force paid. Simple. Make them stop deceiving themselves while terrorists keep sacking them out of their barracks. Damien. Well, Damien, there's no proof. The Wall Street Journal's report did not provide indisputable proof. So really, can you see that they're the ones who are telling the truth? We've got a message from, well, you didn't put your name on, but you say the problem is that evil cannot purge itself of evil. Our security agencies and the armed forces really need a purge. Too many corrupt and unscrupulous elements in them. Anyone who says it's only a few bad eggs giving the police a bad name is trying to be politically correct. No surprise, not much has changed with the police even since the NSAS period. If the recruitment process isn't stepped up, I don't see anything changing. We need sound and virtuous minds in our police and other security agencies, not those whose line of logic is that any young man with a laptop must be a Yahoo boy or any lady dressed with plenty makeup must be a sex worker. Good grief. You didn't leave your name though, but thank you for sending us a message. I'll take a final message and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. This one says, the police will not change, at least not in this generation. There's so much impunity in the police force. They were chasing someone they couldn't catch. Instead, they turned to me, my friend, and they held us in handcuffs. Good thing we were in our neighborhood, so people came out and started shouting that that's how they left us. Mark from Okwebi with that message. Mark, what a horrifying experience. I'm terribly sorry you experienced that. That's not something anyone should experience. But we'll keep pushing. We'll keep talking. I believe your talking is the reason the police changed its mind and said, okay, fine, there can be a procession now, but let us know when and where and what time it will happen. And we'll make sure that we guard and protect you and make sure that, thugs don't attack you. So let's keep talking. When I was in Port Harcourt, we used to say, we're talking for development. So let's keep talking for development right here on your number one talk station, Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. We've got Checkpoint coming up next. After Checkpoint, we'll bring you the Big Hard Fact. And on the Big Hard Fact, we'll take a look at Nigeria's Naira. What's the future of Nigeria's Naira? The Vice President made some very interesting comments about the Nigerian Naira, and it caused quite a debate. And so we'll look at the pros and the cons of what the Vice President has suggested, and we'll let you decide what you think Nigeria's Naira will be doing in the next few years, in the next few quarters. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away.
Numbers are out, and Nigeria Info is your number one station for talk.
Number one.
Listen on the air and online via mobile app. Search Nigeria Info FM on Google Play Store and iOS App Store. Download the app and have us with you wherever you go. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And now the business news.